Hey guys, Mason here, Cardinal. How we doing? Here I am, out on the card floor. Got these new awesome displays that we are just put up here. That's kind of cool. Different thing that's going for us. It's kind of awesome. Oh, I'm wasting dim. Hold on. Back it up. There we go. There we go. Now we can actually see. So that's kind of a cool thing that we got going on. So I want to talk about today. You know, there's not a lot of sealed product out there. Most stuff we got are, boxes and pin collections and things that don't have the greatest pulls in them. Not particularly rare stuff. The sets that we want, they aren't there. It's just it's kind of slim pickings just around for everything. So I'm going to talk about today. When you don't have sealed product to buy, what can you buy for collecting or investing or really anything that you want to put time and effort into? And we're going to talk about singles. Singles have always been things that people buy for investing and buying. So here I am at a card store, right? I own a card store, so why not talk about the cards and things that you can buy in a card store and what kind of stuff that you want to look for, or maybe little interesting things or neat things that you can look at. Or cases. Of course I was dumb and I didn't think to hey, let's make it real pretty before I videotape everything, but it's kind of just like the four cases we have here at Cardinal Gaming. This is kind of our old, retro base set stuff, so that's kind of a cool thing to have. People love to look through. So, since we're on this end, let's talk about the old stuff first. So, obviously, and this is happening if you're either on eBay or whether you're on, TCG Player for new stuff, or particularly eBay. If you're looking for stuff that you want to grade, what better way to get an idea of what something is going to grade than having it in your hands before you buy it, right? So a lot of people forget card stores exist and hobby stores exist out there in the world. I don't really know why, because it seems like, I don't know, people think that either we're going to be way overpriced on things, or that we're going to have just insane prices on stuff, and maybe they think that we ourselves are going to go out and grade all the good stuff, so everything that's in our case is going to be the doo-doo stuff, right, that nobody wants, right? So, I guess there's a lot of that to it, or maybe just people think about, hey, maybe I should start a good relationship with a card store and see what kind of stuff they have and what kind of deals I can get on, right? So, and you have to walk into a store and you have to talk to the people behind the counter. If it's a small mom and pop store, you want to definitely get to know the owner, talk to him a little bit, and stuff like that. And you want to take the time to get to know somebody and talk to them, because I own a store, and I have a lot of experience, a lot of history, a lot of information from the hobby that I can give to you, and we can talk about. Maybe things that I'm seeing, things that you watch this channel for is basically what I can, talk to you all in person about if you come into a store like this, right? And of course, people that work our card counters will be able to answer that kind of stuff for you too. Because they too are experienced and they see things that are coming and going and what things are buying or people are buying, and there's a lot of stuff and information you can get from just being around other people in the hobby that you can't get off of YouTube and stuff like that. So remember that card stores, hobby stores exist, and that you can walk in here and talk to people about your hobby and it not be an experience where you have to feel like either you have to buy something that's overpriced, or that there's no value here, or that it's just for people that play the game, which we do obviously cater a lot to people like that. But yeah, there's value to come into a store like this and just getting an idea of what's moving, what people are buying, what people are selling, even in your local community, can really help. Get an idea of what's out there. Maybe if you do like to go on Facebook, or nobody uses Craigslist anymore, but maybe local Instagram people or local Facebook groups that you can go and buy stuff from. That kind of stuff. You can get that information by just walking to a store and go to stores that you have in the area, and maybe if you are out traveling, go to stores there as well, because I think again, You know, I'm here in Kentucky. People's buying habits, what people are grading, what people are, you know, buying up and selling, is going to be different from what people are in California are buying and selling, or people that are buying and selling in Florida or New York. So whenever you travel, make sure to stop into a card store, because you never know what kind of deals you might get. You know, how in tune they are for pricing. Maybe they're really low on pricing. Maybe, you know, a lot of the stuff that went up in price here recently, maybe they're behind the times and don't have that information and haven't updated their prices. So it's not always a bad idea to walk into a store, even like the smaller mom and pops, like I said, because you can find deals. You can find stuff that is genuinely rare that, you know, you can actually get a good deal on. And I do plan on doing other videos about, you know, buying and selling to a card store and stuff like that. I think that's really useful information. But I really just want to keep this to what you're looking for when you go to buy, and what you can buy singles-wise that is a good investment or something that you could add to a collection that's useful. So let's go back over here to let's talk about modern stuff. I do want to start modern because I think it's interesting, the types of stuff that people buy to invest in, but they don't understand like what's going to mature well. I think there's good examples of stuff that's going to mature well, even in standard sets that people don't really think about. And I'm going to show you the first card. I'm going to go behind the counter because I know it's awesome to see the card counter and see all that in its glory, but I just can't get to the cards that way. So let me go behind the counter here. Perfect example of a card that matured very well in a standard set is this guy right here. The Secret Pikachu from Cosmic Eclipse. A card that I was buying here recently, even before, you know, a couple months ago. You know, I'd be buying that for maybe $5 to $10. You know, before the shutdown and everything, back in the beginning of spring, I would be buying this card for, you know, bulk prices, you know, 50 cents, $1, and now it's upwards of a $35 card. This is a perfect example of if you know what to look for and what people are going to be interested in the long term, or even in, you know, the moderate term. This is a perfect example of a card that matured very well, has value, and is now something that is sought after from a standard set. Standard set that's just at a year old, or a little over a year old. So stuff like this card would have been awesome to pick up a while ago. But stuff like this, you know, I think it's run its course. It's gonna probably only get more expensive because it is a beautiful card and has a lot of collectability to it and a lot of interest. So that's a good card, you know, a long time ago to pick up. So obviously nostalgia plays a huge part right now. You know, I would be looking for stuff that have a lot of old characters on them. So like a card that's from a recent set, Misty's Favor. It's got Misty on it, beautiful art. Kind of already inflated in price just because waifu tax is hitting hard on anything Misty, and you know, older waifus are always popular because they have such a wide appeal to people. So Misty's a great pickup, I think. I think it's going to do even better here recently in the next couple you know, months and years. So that's a good pickup for the price that it is. And you know, for stuff like Professor Oak's setup, beautiful card, awesome, nostalgic artwork, very cheap. I think it's sub or around $10 right now. I think it's an awesome card. You know, in a couple years from now, I think it's going to be a really good looking card that people are going to want. So stuff like that, you know, mainstream characters. Here's another one, Red's Challenge, another card from Unbroken Bonds. For a long time, it was it took me almost, I think, 3 months to see this card in person because it has a very low pull rate, it seems. Again, maybe it's just here locally, but this card was really elusive for a while when this set first came out, and it was not very expensive. I think it was, you know, sub $20. I think it's even settled down lower than that now, but again, it's got red from the original games. It's a beautiful full art. It's an awesome card that I think people are going to want to buy in the near future. So yeah, a lot of these supporter cards that have characters from the games. Again, a couple more examples here. I don't have a Marnie, but a Marnie full art. is, again, waifus kind of complicate things because they're going to make it expensive, and they're already going to have a premium on them. So it's kind of weird to say, yeah, you know, this particular card with a girl on it is going to be expensive in the future, because normally they're already pretty much a premium price. So, but things like Rose, Rose is from the new Sword and Shield games. He's probably going to be a popular one. Again, I got another classic waifu here with Sabrina. Sabrina Suggestion, already an expensive card, but again, I probably think has some legs, and again, just a modern card that I think is going to even do better here in the future. So again, we're looking at things to pick up that is going to be a good long-term investment in our standard stuff. Again, things like promos, I kind of have a love and hate relationship with, and some of them can be worth picking up, some of them can't. Things like this Pikachu, again, was in just I think a $20 or $25 box, and I think it's actually going up in value just because a lot of people didn't buy the box, or the box was, you know, had a normal print run where it wasn't like super hyped. But a card that, you know, was in a cheap box, so that you had packs that come with it, so it is a good value. And then this card is maturing and going up in price. I think it's around $10 to $15 now. So, you know, for over half the price of the box and just the promo, if you had picked it up. And this is not a very old card. It's you know, maybe less than a year old from those boxes, and you can probably still find them. You may still be able to find them out in the wild if you have some stores that don't get hit by people that are just buying up everything. But other than that, for like modern stuff, I think tag teams, particularly the alt art tag teams from a lot of the sets, the recent sets, are really good pickups to get, and are, I think, criminally undervalued. Like this Choo-Choo, Alton Art, Raichu and Alolan Raichu. Beautiful card, awesome. It's going to have great collectability, and I think that people are kind of sleeping on these alt GXs, because these are going to be desired, and just with the unique art like this, it's just going to stand out in people's collections. They're going to want to collect this kind of stuff. So that's a good card to pick up. And again, you want to look for tag teams that have either popular Pokemon, or, you know, a lot of tag teams do have popular and, you know, legendary Pokemon in them. Some of the most you know, personal favorites of a lot of people, Greninja and Zoroark. Absolutely awesome art here on this tag team alt art. And again, Greninja's up there with some of the most popular Pokemon, especially in Japan. Zoroark is also another very popular Pokemon. So that's a good pickup too. And there's just a lot of the stuff that, you know, you can find in a modern case. And if you are looking for, I think even short term, these cards, as this sets are rolling out of print and not being available, you know, these are good pickups that you can go up into a local game store, be able to pick and choose between all the versions that I have. Well, I only have one of that one, of course. But say you wanted to invest in this Pikachu, I got, let's see how many I got here. You know, I got tons of this Pikachu, and you get to pick and choose the best one instead of just choosing one at random on like TCG Player or eBay with, you know, maybe not good pictures, and, you know, get your hands on it. Get the one that looks the best. If you're going to grade it, pick the one that you can use your own eyes and determine, hey, yeah, this has chipping on the edges, or this hollow is good and scratch free, or, you know, it's centering is good, because that's a lot of stuff that, you know, near mint cards, if you buy sight unseen online, centering is not a value for condition. So it's always important to look at that kind of stuff when you go to pick up, especially with these tag teams. They have those nice, really thick black borders on them that you want to look at the spacing, because it's very obvious whether or not they are miscut or aligned correctly. So that's a lot of good stuff that I think is modern, and I think has potential for people to be picking up and buying. And again, you want to be looking at stuff that's going to obviously be in the best condition for good grades. So, and that's kind of stuff you want to be picking up. Surprisingly, I'm going to say this, you know, Charizard's probably still a good buy if you're wanting to hold it long term. I've had a huge influx of people with Champions Path stuff, as the price for the box lowers and goes out of print, the amount of these cards that I have is just above normal. And I've just gotten probably most of these in very recently, because I was selling them pretty regularly, but I do have lots of these guys. And again, you can come in, choose the best one, and if you want to go send it off for grading and pick out the one that's going to get a 9 or a 10, this is a great way to do it. You know, and the good thing about, and again, people don't think about this when you go to a card shop, trade stuff in. Offload some stuff that you maybe have duplicates of, or maybe you don't have the good condition for grading, that maybe you pulled out of a box or something. Trade that in towards something that is going to get a good grade. You know, and that way you don't have to worry about you know, shipping out on eBay and doing all that if you have a lot of stuff that you don't want to hassle with, or you know, if you don't want to worry about, you know, shipping stuff and listing it and stuff like that. Just take it up to a card store. If it has good value, they should be paying good on it. If I'm giving somebody store credit, I can give somebody up to we give up to 70% on good cards. And again, after you look at eBay fees and shipping and stuff like that, that could be, you know, just as much as you're getting out of going on eBay. So that's the kind of things that you want to think about when you go to a card store. They are your friends. They are not your enemies, because you can trade in a bunch of stuff that may still be near mint to stores like us, but then, you know, it's not just a gradable thing that you're going to get, you know, a 9 or 10 on, that you will actually see those kind of good returns on. So, you know, this kind of stuff I think is still good if you're trading stuff towards it, because it's stuff that you maybe really just don't want for something that you do. And again, having it in person and being able to pick and choose between my 5 shiny Charizard Vs, take the best one. I mean, that's something that just you can't do online, you know, with multiple sellers on something like TCG Player. So some things to think about on there. Obviously, we have Hidden Fates has been huge. I got lots of Hidden Fate stuff, good stuff that are coming in. I do have a Charizard right now, so and people, you know, people don't think that I think about this stuff when people buy stuff online. I always grab the best looking card when somebody buys online too, because just like if they were in store, they'd want to be pulling the best one too. So, you know, that's the kind of stuff that you got to think about, and that's stuff that we think about when we go to sell stuff online. Is that obviously if somebody buys something near mint for me, I want them to have the best experience. I want them to get the best looking card, because I don't want them to complain about it, and then I have to deal with all that refunding and stuff. So yeah, again, card stores are your friends. You know, even if you're buying online from a card store, they're your friends too, if you can find a good deal and talk about stuff. This case here is some of the older, should probably turn around so you guys can actually see some of the older stuff. You know, a couple waifus in here. You got Lily and stuff like that. I think are still have some growth potential. You know, here down the road, those are very cheap right now, so those are good buys, I think. And a lot of these old classic full arts and, you know, higher rarity cards from these older sets. You know, we used to joke about these sets like from what this guy's from, you know, Primal Clash, stuff like that have notoriously bad you know, value typically. Even these guys, as those cards roll out of print, you know, stuff like this are going to go up in value because they're hard to find and people want them. And, you know, you kind of got, you know, your Shiny Mew from you know, Shiny Legends, beautiful card. You know, when it came out was $25, and now I think it's above 80. So again, if you want to grade that, this actually has a high pop, so I wouldn't grade this card personally. Just a little FYI, because it has such a huge high population. Beautiful card if you do want it for your collection though. And I think it's you know, again, if you go to a card store, you can look at all the ones that I have and pick and choose the best one. Because again, I have multiples here, so yeah, go to your card shops, check them out. Especially right now, a lot of them are hurting. If they're open to walk in public, check them out, because they're going to have probably a huge stock of cards, just because, you know, we're not seeing the foot traffic that we normally see. So give some love to your card shops, go check them out, and, you know, you might find some good deals for buying and selling, and you know, for your collection, or to even send in for grading. So that's all I got for you guys today. I'll be back later, talk about some other stuff, and we'll go over some older stuff and maybe some more tips when buying and selling and negotiating, maybe. Dare I say negotiation? But yeah, I'll talk to you guys in the next one. Bye.